And simply put, that's around 15 sales per day. If you take the weekends off, that means you need to list 20 items a day. So Monday through Friday, list 100, sell 15 throughout the week. You could schedule them out. You could do your draft bank. We have lots of different methods for making sure your sales are consistent. Also, you could do all 100 listings on Saturday, take the rest of the week off, and schedule them ahead. And the reason why we want to schedule them ahead is so that you get traffic every single day rather than all in one day. You don't want to have all your sales on one day. You want to have it spread out. So today I want to do a live Q&A with everybody, so hopefully people have questions. But I want to go over the plan of selling 100 items per week. And at a base level, let's say minimum $10 profit, that is $50,000 a year, $1,000 per week. If you're a little bit better at sourcing, $15 per item, 100 times a week is $1,500, which is $75,000 per week, which according to a lot of blogs, that's all you need to be happy. And then if you're an expert at buying things and selling them, essentially 100 times $20 profit or higher, that's six figures, that's $100,000 per year. So on this channel, we go over all the things that you need, how to plan. I've been doing this for a long time, full time, since about 2017. So I've got a good idea of what it takes, what it doesn't take. So hopefully there's some questions today. And a bunch of people in our Facebook group were talking about the one thing I recommend. So this week, let me know in the chat, what's the one thing you need to do right now to get you closer to that 100 per week sales, not listings, but sales. I don't know if there are questions.
Not quite yet, but hello, everybody.
Hey, how's everybody going? Let me know in the chat where you are located. We're here in Oakland, California. I'm thinking about doing a meetup here on site the first week of May. So let me guys know in the chat if you would come down here for a meetup. I want maybe like 10 to 20 people and show you the shop. By then, the eBay room will be done. So you guys can come check out how I would do eBay in my 2-car garage, because this spot right here, actually 200. Somebody in the chat, can you let me know what 15 times 15 is? That's in the chat. I think it's like 200 something. Maybe that's the size of a 1-car garage. But I definitely can run what I'm talking about right now, which is the 100 sales per week out of that size room, no problem. And I think 15 times 15 is 225, but let me know in the chat. That's the, I think it's the square footage of a 1-car garage. Let me know in the chat if that's correct too.
They're saying 225.
225. And can you guys hear me okay? We got a show in the back, and essentially I've got two models going on right now in my stream. I've got what I find at the flea market every single week, which is pre-owned. That stuff does great. That's exactly the model that we're talking about right now. The other stuff is, I don't know if they can see back there. There's pallets of stuff back there. And currently behind me, I have around 42,000 items from QVC, and more actually coming. So all that stuff is brand new. So very interesting. Got two models, buying stuff at the flea market, also buying stuff brand new from QVC. I have DeAndre and Jade back there streaming with epidemic sound, so YouTube, don't copyright strike me.
So Pedro says, you back on the Bay?
Not yet. I'm actually trying to figure out the best way to do that. It's almost my 1-year anniversary. So I got banned around this time last year.
Yeah, basically, exactly.
Yeah, around this time.
Almost.
So I've been off the platform for 1 year. I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't circumvent any of the things. So I feel like maybe they let me back on because I haven't done anything to circumvent it. I guess some people say just create a separate company, have the company run under that name on the internet in that room, different address. eBay wouldn't know that it's me. But I don't really want to do that. I want to share my eBay account with everybody. Plus, yeah, I want my eBay account back. So also, they gave me permission to use my wife. My wife could have a store in that room if I want to, but I don't want to do that. I want to get my actual account back. And from my experience, they usually give people their accounts back, especially ones like me where I didn't do anything. So I feel like eventually I will get my account back, but if you guys have any feedback in the chat, let me know. I've written a couple of letters, but we're not there yet.
Bold Fine says, what's up, Chris?
What's up, Bold Finds? Everybody follow James in the UK. James is our coach in the UK, so all of you over the pond. Can we say over the pond? They say over the pond. Over the pond, that direction on the east side. We have about 300 to 500 members in our group that are from the UK. So they just had a really compelling conversation about VAT. So it's pretty cool. If you guys are interested, our lineup of coaches is insane. We have 15 full-time people that talk about their niche, whether it's antiques, jewelry, shoes. We just added the card call back in, so I know a lot of card sellers were looking for that. We're still trying to get Pokemon Steve to do the Pokemon side, but we have sports cards, trading cards in one call. Car parts call, media, video games. The call I do every morning, Monday through Friday, tech and sports call on Tuesday. That call is really valuable, and I recommend you do it before he fades off into the sunset, because he's only got around 15, 16 months left before retirement. So I would jump in on that Tuesday call and talk to him as much as possible, ask him as many questions as possible. But I'm also here live on Monday, and we're going to start the Monday lives up again.
Yeah.
So let me know, guys, if you have any questions. I'll try to answer them on Monday as well.
Luca says, hey, so I have 200 listings with 120 sold items. I'm trying to scale up,
Yep.
selling about 2 a day on eBay.
Okay, this is really cool. So 200 and 120 sold.
Yeah.
So 120 sold over 90 days is more like 1 1/3 items per day. So it's over 90 days, if you sell 120, you're not quite selling 2 a day. So between 1 and 2 items a day. With 200 listed, that's pretty good. I'm going to talk about this in my video later today, but I want to just point this out right now, which is in the beginning, you want to pick better items because it's crowded at the bottom. Like everyone tries to do under $20 stuff, especially in the beginning. You might get it for free. People might donate stuff. You might have stuff around the house. But if you can be disciplined and just pick stuff that's over 30 in the beginning, right, till you get some traction, then what happens is you have a store that you can discount if you want to get some cash out and then go buy some new inventory. But if you guys end up getting like 200, 300, 500 items in your store and you don't sell any, like you're not getting regular sales, that's taking up so much space and time and mental real estate, and it's going to really hold you back. So
I see that Steve says the audio is blown out. I can lower it if you guys think it's too loud, but let me know.
oh, this is too loud?
Oh, no, us.
Oh, we're too
It
loud?
doesn't look like it's...
Are we too loud? Let me know in the
Let
chat.
us know if it's too loud. I can turn this down. But anyways. Oh, audio is great? Okay. I think sometimes I'm talking a little too close to the mic. Okay. Pedro says, when tech retires, will eBay prices on used clothing go up?
No, it's not going to go up. Well, okay, I was just thinking about this. If you find a cool shirt like this, right? Let's say you find this shirt at the flea market, and it's an all-over print, it's vintage, it's single stitch, it's cool, right? It's going to sell for a good price no matter what. The nice part of vintage is that if it's unique, it's going to sell. One thing that is unusual, when he retires, a lot of people are not going to have their supply. So maybe prices go up because the demand is going to be the same or higher and there's less supply because a lot of vintage stuff rolls through him. So will it go up? I'm not sure because I feel like one of the reasons people like vintage is they can get a good deal. Not everyone is just wearing bangers every day. They like to just wear a cool shirt that's 20 years old. This shirt's not a crazy banger, but it's cool, and if it was $20 on eBay, you might buy it. But if they were all 50, I don't know if the vintage game would be as big. Maybe vintage is over. When he's done, maybe there's not enough vintage stuff, and it's too hard to find and too expensive. But for most people, you can go to a thrift store or a garage sale and find a cool vintage piece for yourself. So maybe the hunt will be more real in the future. Also, guys, vintage is in the 2000s now. So 20 years old and older is now hit the 2000s. So there's all this fresh Y2K stuff that's literally vintage now. So it's kind of wild.
Q the trucker says, my issue is finding the $30 plus
Yep,
items.
that's good. Not good, but that is that's the challenge. So essentially, I'm going to give you guys another part of my video that we're filming later today, which is you want to pick a big specific goal. So guys, maybe pause the video and write this down. Your big specific goal is 100 items sold a week at $15 profit or more. Okay, so what that looks like, this is the tech and sports model. Buy for $8 or less, sell for over 30. So you're probably not going to find these items at the thrift store because, as Craigslist Hunter said, most people do not donate items that are worth more than $30 unless they made an accident. They like didn't know it was worth that much and then donated it. So your job is to go to the thrift store and find items that are worth over $30. That's your job. Figure out how to list it. So I'll give you an example. In the group this morning, we were talking about Goose Guy 84. You guys should write down his username, Goose Guy 84. Brian, I talk about him all the time. He finds stuff at the thrift store regularly over $100. It's all fancy men's blazers, pants, jackets, stuff that you would buy at the store for $200 to $1,000. At Goodwill, it's going to be 10 or 14 or 15. It takes a lot of skill, though, to be able to list that type of item. So it's more challenging, but that's an example of over 30 where you have an opportunity to get that home run. And I think that if you're picking a category that the most you can sell an item for is $30, you're in trouble. If you pick a category where everything sells for over $30, you can turn that 10 into 50 or 10 into 30, and it really builds up in the beginning. In the beginning, there's so much to learn. So like inventory systems, sales, titles, item specifics, pricing, return, shipping, there's a lot to learn. So I recommend in the beginning, don't have a ton of items because you're not going to be able to get through them. Selling low-end or medium-end items is more advanced, right? Like when you get to a certain point, you can do it. And even for me, I'm even scaling down and just focusing on better items because I've been doing this for a long time and I get it. So the items that I get that don't reach that $20 threshold, I'm usually lotting up. So it can reach the $20 threshold. So for example, I just posted some lots on dailyrefinement.com/wholesale. I'm going to do 5 men's lots and 5 women's lots. Like here's an example. These are brand new Levi's. I don't know if you guys can see, but these are brand new Levi's. Levi's signature, which is sold at like Target or Walmart or Kohl's, like a lower end Levi's signature. They're all brand new. They're not going to meet my threshold of $30 because they just don't sell for $30 on eBay. They're going to be between $16 and $25, depending on the size. There might be a 44 by 32, which is a fantastic size. Maybe that one sells for 30, but for me, because I can't reach that threshold, I'm going to lot them up. So I'd rather sell them all, make $1 a piece and sell 20 of them and make 20 bucks profit than sell them for less than $20 because I don't have enough space to do it. I'm competing against people who are paying way less per square foot. Like, I was just thinking about how crazy it is to run this operation. There's so many bills. Like, I wake up millions of dollars of bills a year to run this type of operation, and I'm in such an expensive place. So if you live in somewhere cheaper than California, maybe you do have the space to sell that kind of stuff, but for me, it's difficult. I gotta really either sell lots or expensive items to make it work.
They're wondering what his name is again. Goose Guy.
Oh, Goose Guy 84. So Goose like
Goose like the bird.
Goose like the bird, Guy
Yeah.
84. And his real name is Brian. And I don't know why his username is Goose Guy 84. His store is called Tailored Consignment, much more professional. But Goose Guy 84 is his, I'm going to guess that he, maybe he likes a nice goose dinner, and he also was born in 1984. What do you guys think? Why do you think he's named Goose Guy 84? I'm also 1984, so good year.
Lucas said, should I start posting 10 or more items a day, or do I have to limit my posts to how many sales I get daily?
I would limit it to how many sales you get daily because you don't want to post stuff that's not going to sell. Yes, big and specific is great. 100 items a week. That sounds great, but if the items don't sell, that's not the point. We want 100 sold items a week. The thing I'm pushing right now is 100 items sold a week done before noon, weekends off. That's like my new shtick. The thing is, it's like you have to be an expert in order to do that. So it's a bit, let me know in the chat how misleading it is on a scale of 1 to 10. If you know how to do it, you can do it Monday through Friday, be done by noon, take the weekends off. If you have no idea how to do it, you will not be able to do it. I know that sounds like crazy, but if you don't know how to photograph quickly, you don't know how to list, you don't know where to find items, you don't know how eBay works, you don't know how traffic works, you don't have a storage system, you don't know how to ship fast, you can't process returns, then it wouldn't work. So hopefully it's not misleading, but you can be done by noon and have the weekends off, but you have to know how to do this.
Mandy says, I'm selling 105, but I'd like to double it. Do you have
Great.
advice for
So,
that?
okay, this is a good question. It's not as easy as just doubling your input, especially because in your geographic area, you are limited to the number of great items. So as an example, I was just thinking about this. Let's say that I do get my eBay account back, and I decide that I want to run my eBay business at home. Can somebody confirm how big a one-car garage is? This is 225 square feet, but...
I think they were saying 225-ish.
Okay, because yeah, I'm trying to see if this is actually the size of a one-car garage. I could only sell around 200 items per week that meet my threshold of good items. In order to increase that, I would have to change the geographic region I look in. So I'm looking like Bay Area. I would have to expand a little bit larger to the I'm looking like San Francisco, Oakland, to be honest. To get more items, I have to increase wider. Maybe go as north as like, I don't know, Marin, and go as south as like Santa Cruz. I have to increase my geographical area for me to find that many items that match. It's not just like go to the same stores and buy twice as many items, because the items that you're buying that are lower are worse. So it's something like you're selling 200 a week. To get the same amount of sales, you might have to list 800 a week of the same kind of stuff, because it's not as good. So it's hard to list the same quality stuff and double your goal. You usually have to increase your radius. So I actually talked to Tech about this. I would have to either go to more flea markets or go wider. There's no way to just sell twice as many with the same stuff.
Doc Morris says 1 car garage is 10 by 20.
1 car garage is 10 by 20. So that's 200 square feet. So this one, what I'll do to make it fair is I'll use 25 square feet for nothing. I'll leave that empty so that it's a proper 1 car garage store.
Melissa says, are doing live auctions worth it?
Oh man, that's such a good question. So okay, I consider myself intermediate at live auctions. So far, live auctions, we've sold 75,000 items. 75,000 auctions I've sold. 75,000 auctions, a lot of them have been lots. So I've probably like sold 200,000 or 300,000 items at this point via Whatnot and some other live auction platforms that I have tested. As far as it goes, I think that live auctions, if you're just running it straight up, like right now, I'll give you guys a good example. We're running QVC returns right now. I'm sorry, not returns, but these are brand new QVC shelf pulls that did not sell on the stream. So essentially, Cindy Crawford comes on, says buy this beautiful pair of Clarks, doesn't sell all the way through. It goes onto a pallet, comes to people like me. So the MSRP average on these items is 70. I would say, since they're all brand new in box on eBay, these shoes are selling between 20, let's just call it between $20 and $30. Here, they're selling for between 6 and 25. So I'm never going to get as much as on eBay because there's so few people watching. I think, Jade, how many people are, let me see.
Alma, starting us off with $1. Chris peeking through.
Okay, so there are 80 people watching that stream right now. So that's 80 people that are all different sizes looking for the shoe, right? But if you post the size 8 sandal, if you look at the watches, like over a couple months, there's like 100 people who looked at it. Most likely those 100 people are size 8. Size 8 people looking for your sandal. It's more traction, you can ask more money. Here, there's 80 people in the stream, but there might only be 5 people who are size 8. It might sell for $3, so it's risky. Doing live auction, starting at $1 is risky. You can do a higher start amount, but that's not how I roll, because I want every single item to sell. It actually has become a problem because there's so much. It's hard to explain how much garbage is produced by 700 to 1,000 orders a day. Yeah. I kind of feel a little bit like a janitor because there's just so much garbage every day. Those little plastic wrapper things, it's like that much of them a day. So it is crazy. Is it worth it? I would say it depends on your margins and how comfortable you are with being on stream. Recently, I haven't been on my streams, and I've been testing to see if it'll work with an employee. So it is what it is. Being on stream yourself usually does work.
Rita is asking, how can I watch your auctions?
In the stream, or in the top of the comment description, is a link to Whatnot, so you guys can sign up and get $15 off your first purchase. Download the app with that, buy something from me or somebody else, and my streams are under the name Daily Refinement. So on there, we had a second stream, but I actually discontinued it, called Reseller Nirvana. It was doing good, but it's just the volume of, I don't know, guys, it's really hard to explain the volume of 700 packages a day. It's mind-blowing. That's why I want to have people come here. So will you guys let me know what the first Friday of May is? Is it the 4th or 5th? First Friday of May can you guys, maybe I'm going to try to get 20 people to come here, 5th? So maybe May 5th, you give me some breather after the baby, because my wife, I feel like she's going to be early. Our due date is April 12th. And they say boys are bigger, so we had Natalie the first time, and she's much larger than the first time. So I feel like could be right now, right? Maybe she's texting me right now on this live. But I feel like she's going to be early. He is going to be early. And what was the question?
Originally, it was whether auctions are worth it.
Oh, whether auctions are worth it. Yeah, we're so far beyond that at this point. But I'm excited this time. Baby's going to be here soon, and I'm going to have...
Oh, you were hoping to have people come.
Oh, yeah, I'm hoping to have people come. So
Right.
if the baby comes now, right, it'll give me a month before I have to be here. And I'm thinking about getting some beers, happy hour, after we come here and list a few items. So list a few items in the new eBay room, go have a couple beers, and that way the responsibility shifts to the bar, and we'll call it a day. That's what I would like to do. We're right by Ghost Town Brewery in Oakland, California. Also, fun fact, one of the members of the group got my old spot at Safekeep Storage, so I find that hilarious. So he sent me a picture, so hopefully he can stop by.
Wax Clothing Company says, how do you get used clothing at the price you need at flea markets, especially when selling on Whatnot?
It's taken me a while. I've been doing it for 2.5 years. My daughter is 2. My wife actually helped me get a few of the suppliers by just talking to the Hefa at each station. So like in my flea market, most of the vendors are Hispanic, and let's see, almost always it's like a couple or usually a woman doing it. So I don't know if my wife is, I can tell you for sure, she's better at communicating than me. So she was able to talk to them, figure out what their needs are, and I'm buying it an amount that's large enough that they literally write Chino on the bag, and I go there and I get to pick first because I've been doing it for so long. So they know what I'm looking for, what brands I'm looking for, and you can't see, but behind this wall there are bags full of inventory that was already picked for me. So when I go there, I just say yes or no, but it's 99% yes because it's all going to be the same brands. So one of those ladies actually just brought me, one of the shoe buyers in my area slipped up and didn't show up. So now I'm buying all that shoe person's inventory. And essentially there are brands like Hoka, Adidas, Nike, Doc Marten, Allen Edmonds, Santoni, just like all of the good brands, Adidas, Under Armour, all those shoes, I'm buying in probably at a buy cost of around $5. So that's really cheap. They're getting with the bins probably for $3 or $4. So they're only making $1 or $2 a pair, but I'm buying 100% of them. So the way to get that relationship going is to let them know, like, the money is good, I'll always buy, we'll be consistent. And so Tech was saying how he has people who buy $250,000 a year or more from him, just one customer. I am one of those customers. There are vendors that I pay $250,000 a year to or more. So I'm on the opposite side of that. But I can tell you, you don't need that many relationships to be huge. So that, how you get that going is also going to be, I want to film a new Skillshare course for you guys. So let me know in the comment section below if that would be useful to you. But Skillshare is one of the sponsors of this channel, and I want to just take care of them. So I'm thinking about doing a channel on how to develop relationships. I think that hopefully is a useful skill. I've been doing this for a long time, and I've been talking for 23 years professionally now. So we've been doing this a long time.
Lucy is asking, when buying as much as you do at the flea markets, are you doing quality checks on them?
That's all I'm doing. So
Yeah.
they pick the brands for me. I just do quality check. I'm just looking to see if it's torn, stained, and then putting back the ones that are not. So they're already picking the brands that I want.
Rael Thomas says, if you've had an account open for years but never used it, so selling amount is limited, do I just start again, or because I'm a beginner, practice with that small amount? It's 10 pounds a day, I believe.
I would practice with that small amount, and then once it starts to snowball, eBay will increase your limit more than you can even use it. So it will grow faster than you can even. It'll grow faster than you can even keep up with.
Yes, light gray floral, size 10 by
I'm not sure what Luke is exactly asking, but he's saying, how many can I post a day to get up to 500? Can I start posting 10 to 15 a day?
You can, but I don't recommend listing items that never sell. So listing 15 items and 0 of them sell will put you in the hole, like all that space, all that time. So I recommend just only listing items that will sell over $30 if you're just starting and having the problem of not being able to find enough items. So it's okay though, because you have all the time in the world in the beginning. So spend all your time researching, figuring out what to buy. How to get someone to give you $30 is really important. How can you do it? It may be a lot. For me to get someone to buy a brand new pair of Levi's Signature for over $30 can't happen. But maybe I can sell 5 pairs for $30. So that's where I'm going to aim at. As an example, to give you guys an idea on the wholesale boxes, my goal is to essentially provide these jeans for like $6, right? And obviously they're worth more than $6, but somebody who has the time and already their systems set up, it would make sense. But if you are starting, it does not make sense to buy bulk. Buying bulk is only for people who have all their systems set up. Like for me, that sounds so ridiculous, but 42,000 items is 21 weeks of work. So that's 4 months of inventory that I don't have to source anything. So that sounds wild, right? So you're like, okay, why do you have 4 months worth of inventory at 2,000 a piece? But 2,000 is actually the number of auctions that we do per week. So in order to make that move faster, I have to increase the lot size. So more than 1 piece per auction would be how I move that inventory faster. And again, this type of inventory is different. It's a different model. Liquidation is different than one-off. So we're talking about 2 different models today.
Raul says, apart from clothes, what other markets do you recommend selling in?
We made this video called the top 30 categories of selling on eBay, and it was kind of a joke because it's all the categories. Because the messages that were like, what category do you not sell in? Because it literally covered everything. So on the ebay.com homepage, if you scroll to the bottom, it'll tell you all the major categories on eBay you should sell on. I think home goods is much larger than clothing. Clothing is not the easiest category. I just sell in clothing because it's plentiful, and over the years I've developed a few relationships to get supply. The best thing you should sell is whatever you have access to. That's why in our group, I recommend the zip code call. Join the group, go to text section, look at the zip code call. For 2 hours, he explains how to find stuff in your area. That's also in our eBay white pages. So you want to sell stuff that only you can sell. Like I said, it's crowded at the bottom. I've now been regularly going to the gym, and if I get there at 5 when it opens, there's nobody there except for like the 20 diehards. By 5:45 when I'm leaving, it's already packed. There's so many people in there, but it's just like the garage sale. You show up 10 minutes before they open, you're courteous, you're polite. They will respect you as the first person in line if you show up early and you're on time and you're courteous and you're polite. If you're screaming down the road at 5 in the morning and butting that person, it's not a good look. So you want to be first in line and polite for everything that you do.
Katie Nation says, when I go to the boot sales, my number one target is to find camera equipment, but only buy ones I know that are going to sell for at least 30 or more.
Yep.
Not the easiest market to niche, though, and every time I find one that is over 30 or more, I add it to my notebook so I know to look for it again.
That's a phenomenal way to do it. So you guys know my boy Prince. He came here and visited me. We went to the flea market or boot sale to look for cameras. He only sells 6 cameras, GoPro 1 through 6. Now there's like GoPro 9 or are we on 10 already? Do you know?
Oh, I'm not sure.
We're at least at 9.
Yeah.
At the time, 3 years ago, there was only GoPro 6. So we would walk around the flea market looking for GoPro 1 through 6, and he found none. It's not that easy, right? He walked around. There was probably 20 or 30 GoPros for sale at the flea market. None of them were profitable. They were either asking above eBay price or they were asking a little bit lower and there wasn't enough margin for him to do it. And he knew how to fix all the cameras and still there was none. So essentially what he did, and I don't know if there are, let me know if there are pawn shops in the UK. I'm not sure, but what he did was he called every single pawn shop in America and said, hey, my name is Prince. I'm a GoPro seller on eBay. I'm looking for GoPro 1 through 6. If you have any, let me know. I'm going to give you my price list. If you find one and you want to sell it, call me. I'll send you the money on PayPal immediately and a prepaid label. I'll even mail you the label. You email it to me. You'll get cashed out immediately. Don't need to put it on the floor. So a lot of these pawn shops ended up developing a relationship with him. He had inbound around, at one point, 70 cameras a day. 70 cameras coming inbound per day that were all meeting his profit margin, all just 6 different cameras. But it's easier for someone to understand that. And in California, there's actually not very many, where I live in the Bay Area, there's not very many pawn shops. I only know of one down the street called Best Collateral, and I went there before, and I was like, should I do the big YouTube thing and buy everything in the store? And he's like, please don't. We don't have that much stuff, and we don't want to pawn anything. It's not a good look to, like, someone's down on their luck or something, and they have their stuff, and then they end up not being able to pay back the loan, and now we're selling their stuff. He's like, I don't actually want to do that. I want people to get all their stuff back. I want to just loan people money for when they need it for a week, and then give them their stuff back. So it kind of feels weird if you were to make a video about us taking advantage of people. So he wouldn't let me buy everything. But there's literally only one pawn shop here. I don't even know if there's one in the area other than that one. So that's one way of getting inbound inventory.
AA says, yes, there are pawn shops in the UK.
Okay.
Alfonso says, is an auction-only model, or does an auction-only model work, or is it too risky?
It's risky as hell, guys.
Yeah.
Because I think it does work if you buy right. That's the only thing I can say. Like, there's certain items, pretty much every single. Let me look. I'm pretty sure that every single pair Jade sells will be profitable today, but she's a beast. So she's able to describe the item, a little bit of hype, a little bit of flair. People are paying $5 for Jade's personality, and that pushes me above the buy cost. So auctions are very risky. If you're going to do live auctions, it relies heavily on the personality of the individual, heavily. They're doing 120 shoes right now. It's kind of intense.
Question, how to find good suppliers and escalate?
So the way to provide to get good suppliers is essentially develop a reputation that you can move stock. I know that sounds crazy, but at this point, I can't even respond to all the people selling me stuff because, they know that I can move the inventory, so I'm getting an insane amount of inquiries. So in your area, you need to be known for something. Like if you're known in your area to have the best chocolate cookies, then everybody that's looking for cookies is going to come to you first. In Berkeley, there's a restaurant called Cheeseboard. If you guys have ever come to the Bay Area and go to Cheeseboard, there's more people waiting in line at Cheeseboard than all of the restaurants in the area combined. It's really strange, but they're known for like affordable, good pizza. They only have one thing on the menu, just the pizza. So everybody knows what they're going to get. It's literally busier than every restaurant combined. So you need to do that if you want people coming to you, because essentially the ingredients for the pizza, right? Everyone is talking to them. Farmers are like, hey, we have the best produce. We want to sell it to you. Like, so that's what happens. Right now I'm getting some really interesting stock ideas. So let me know in the chat what you think of this. There are 5,000 pairs of Echo shoes, ECCO, the brand. It's very good in my opinion. All brand new, I think at least 5,000 pairs. 5,000 pairs of Echo shoes coming through the system, all brand new, right? What would you guys pay for a pair of Echo shoes that's all brand new? Now, of course, this is scary because I've gotten some manifests that are like 10,000 pairs, one style, size 3.5 to 27. Like, I didn't even know companies make size 27. I thought that was just like custom order or maybe for a ball player or something. Because all the shoes that I found in the 20s usually are for an athlete and they just donated them or they're a TJ Maxx for some reason. But that's so risky, 3 to 27. I might only pay $1 a pair, or maybe I would even pass on a deal because it's too scary. But Echo Shoes is a brand that's coming in that I might pull the trigger on because the supply is varied. So all different styles, all different sizes, and nothing over 13 and nothing under 7. So those are like things that I'm thinking about. But you guys can think about how much you would pay for brand new pairs of Echoes, give you an idea, and then getting that supply comes from your reputation of how many you can sell.
Amber just commented, you first used to say $10 a profit is like the goal.
Yeah.
per item. But now you're saying $30. Do you recommend not the $10 profit now?
$30 is the gross amount, so this is amount. This is
total.
nice that you're bringing this up because
Yeah.
$30 includes shipping. So $30 including shipping, and with a buy cost of 8, you should comfortably be able to make 10.
Yeah.
15 would mean you're better at your craft and you're selling it closer to the market value. But we're looking at minimum 10, ideally $15 profit. And a lady this morning didn't understand that, so she was like, when I go to the bins, I see stuff that sells for $15 all the time. And I'm like, that's not what we're talking about. Sells for 15, you're paying a couple dollars for it. You paid $10 to ship it. You're talking about losing money on it, selling something for $15 because the total gross amount that you're getting after, the amount that you're getting after all the fees is negative. So $10 profit is usually a minimum, like buy for 8, sell for 20 plus shipping. But I want you closer to that $30 in the beginning. That way you can make some mistakes. Hopefully that makes sense, guys. If it doesn't make sense, let me know in the chat. But I feel like the mistake of not being able to discount it to move it is tough, because on an item that's worth $15, sometimes you can discount it to 99 cents plus shipping and it won't sell because there's not enough people looking for it.
Matt says, I've had my eBay account for a long time and my posting limit is $500 a month, which is enough for me. Is paying for a basic eBay store worth it to grow my store?
It's not related to your traffic. You don't need an eBay store. It just, in our group, we like to think that eBay is spiteful, so the higher level of store you have, maybe the better the customer service experience is, but it doesn't really matter. You don't need an eBay store to be successful. You just need to list quality items. It just would make sense for you financially if the listing fees were reduced to 0 for the first 1,000 listings or 5,000, or whatever the basic and premium store limits are at. It makes sense if you're paying insertion fees to get a package that includes free insertion fees.
A question, sorry I can't pronounce the name, but guys, out of curiosity, how much does it cost you to ship items in Europe or USA? Because in Greece, it's 1 kilogram costs about 50 euros.
That's expensive.
Yeah.
So 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. 50 euros is $50, more or less. So that's like $15 or $22 a pound. Is that right? Here it's about $10 a pound for the first pound. So that's like a 2-pound package here would probably cost 15 priority. If you can stuff it into a cubic mailer, it's probably $11 or $12. That's also a huge mistake for people not understanding their shipping rates. Wait, does DeAndre have a lot of shoes?
Huh?
Does he have a lot of shoes?
Oh no. We was talking about the resale.
No, I know. I was just curious because DeAndre's got a nice rotation.
Oh yeah, I do kind of got a lot of shoes though, honestly. That's what he was saying.
Sleepy J, he is not back on eBay yet.
No, not yet.
Have a Seat says, what is the average net margin after a sale?
That's a good question. I would say the average net margin for somebody on eBay is probably half. So they sell something for $30, they're probably profiting 15. $20 are probably profiting 10 for the average seller. Because most people are selling stuff at home that they don't use anymore. The average eBay seller sells between 0 and 5 items a day and is full time. So that's kind of insane to me, but after doing all the math and what I know, the average eBay reseller is making like $2 an hour. If you count all the time that you're actually working, it's not worth it to do eBay randomly, in my opinion. Doing eBay randomly, those days are over. You're going to be making $2 an hour. Doing eBay specifically, the sky is the limit.
Kyle says, small seller, I have 100 plus items right now, toys, collectibles, cards, etc. Should I replace an item that doesn't sell after a certain time to free up a slot? How long before taking it down?
I would never take items down. I just discount them lower. So you shouldn't list any items that won't sell for $1 free shipping. I would much rather sell it for $1 free shipping and lose money than to take it down and redonate the item just for my pride. I'd rather just sell it, get somebody a really really excellent experience. Ideally, you could at least sell it for $1 plus shipping. But if you're really desperate and trying to move inventory and learn how things work, it's much better to learn, okay, the market for this item is $2 free shipping. This item, $20 plus shipping. So it's important to sell through all your stock to really understand what everything is worth. You shouldn't be listing items that don't sell.
Family TV says, is it okay to purchase something on eBay and then relist it using the original photos from the purchased listing?
You can, but I feel like that's lazy because we have, if you use a camera or your phone, it only takes 1 minute to take photos. So like, just use the 1 minute and take your own photos, in my opinion. You can, lots of people do that. They just use the stock photos or they steal people's photos. It's okay, like you're not gonna go to jail, but like, or what's your definition of okay? You won't lose your account for doing that, but I think it's bad juju, personally. We have a show today with 50 items. All of the photos were uploaded. We took pictures of every single item. So also, if you guys want to learn vintage women's, Allison is doing vintage women's at 2:30 today. So that's in 3 hours. She's going to do a vintage women's show. If you want to check out how to sell those types of items, you can check out her show. But even Allison, our beloved antique vintage seller, she's just selling modern stuff like Anthropology and Free People. She knows what's hot. So she's even moving away from what she likes to sell, which is vintage, and just selling more of what's selling. So here, if you work here, you can run your own show if you want with your own stuff, and I just charge a fee per item. And for her, it's more worth it to sell items that people want. So you're paying eBay fees. It should be more worth it to sell people what they want.
You're all good. You're all good.
Don't Touch Me says, should I get an LLC for a small store on eBay?
No, you should just run as a sole proprietorship as long as you can. You're automatically a business according to the IRS if you sell something for a profit. If you're doing it for fun, you don't need a company. You're doing it for a profit, you should start your sole proprietorship, which is just under your social security number. Spending $500 to $1,000 to incorporate makes no sense. The only reason I'm incorporated is because I wanted to buy a house, so it's nice having a salary as a W-2 employee. So I work for Daily Refinement. That's made my life a lot easier when buying real estate because I have a W-2. Also, I get paternity leave. State of California is going to give me, I think, either 2 weeks or 4 weeks of paid time off, which is just blows my mind because I run my own company, so it's weird. But if you incorporate, in my opinion, it's only to buy real estate. Just stay a sole proprietor.
Or if you maybe want to hire employees? Or
If you want to hire employees, you can still do it as a sole proprietorship.
Okay.
I recommend that you, I have a software called Gusto. If you guys want my referral link for Gusto, email me and I'll send you a link. Gusto takes the payroll taxes out for me, for my W-2 employees, and for my 1099 contractors, they file the form at the beginning of the year automatically. Also, just a tip for that. They will automatically send it on January 21st, and I didn't know that because the deadline is January 31st. So I thought I'll just review it, and I procrastinated and I waited till like the 23rd to do it, and they'd already sent out incorrect ones. So if you're using Gusto to pay out independent contractors, be done before January 21st. My goal this year is to be done January 1st. January 1st, Happy New Year, press the button, send it out. I don't want to wait that long. I'd like to file my taxes, honestly, right at midnight on December 31st, and I don't want to wait till April 15th. Like, I want to get it done immediately.
Josh Wheeler says, what tools help with SEO/promotions on eBay sales?
That's great. So this is kind of the secret sauce in our group, but trying to figure out which words rank, keyword structure, title structure. There are no tools for that. It's just from searching in the souls of your niche. You can figure out what's selling well by just looking at what's selling well in your niche and copying the top trends. You can use a tool like, let's say, Zeek Analytics, which is what dropshippers use to figure out which products to buy based on keywords. But optimizing your own niche just comes from spending time in your own category and figuring out the right titles. There are certain ways to write titles that make people find your items easier.
Oliver Crane says, hey Chris, glad you're doing these lives again.
Yes, Oliver, thank you. So guys, this is fun, but we're thinking of two names for the baby, either Oliver or Henry. So Oliver, we're thinking about you. So let me know in the chat of those two names what you guys think is a good name, Oliver or Henry.
Yeah, those are cute.
Oliver is enormously popular. I like it the most, but there's so many Olivers. And my wife was asking me if I know any Olivers, and I do know one. I know two Olivers, one that's in our group, and I know one in real life. And I do think he's kind of annoying, but he's a successful doctor. So if my kid ends up being annoying, but they're a successful doctor or a successful reseller like Oliver, in the group I posted the ideal way to resell is to wake up, do customer service, ship, photograph, list, be done by about 9 or 10 in the morning, go shopping, and for your items, that's the ideal schedule, right? And then Oliver posted, I've been doing that for 3 years. So it works. So we already know what to do in the group, and let me know in the chat, Oliver or Henry.
They're going back. It's like it says. It's literally Oliver then Henry then Oliver then Henry.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or Henry Oliver and then your last name.
Could be
middle
Henry
name.
Oliver. My daughter does not have a middle name, so would she feel left out?
I don't know.
I don't know. She's young enough that we could just stick it in there after. But I don't want her to feel weird about it. So what we could do is just name the kid one way, and then maybe 2 months into it.
Olivia as the middle name.
Could be.
Oliver.
Yeah, it could be. I really like Olivia. I really like Emma. I really like. There's so many good female names, but male names we really. It's really hard. So maybe you guys, if you want to send me some more baby names, let me know. But it's not that easy to find a guy's name.
Okay, Matt says, what's the longest amount of time you should have something listed before you decide it's not going to sell?
It's just never happened to me. I always just discount it and it sells. I don't have that problem.
So
I guess if it's $1 free shipping and not selling, it's time to take it down.
Mm-hmm. But perhaps note, like, that type of thing is not going to be something that you want to buy again.
Don't buy it again. And if
Alright, up next we got JBU by Jambu. These are a size 6.
I don't know how to explain that. Like, I would just discount it until it sells. If it's $1 free shipping and won't sell, that's really hard because you're literally paying somebody to take it from you, right? And at that point, like, if you call your friend, you're like, hey, do you want XYZ? And they say no, they don't even want it for free, then you know it's time to donate it. Yeah.
Angie at Flipping Lost Treasure says, where are you selling besides Whatnot? I tried to look up your store and I did find the bulk buy, but no single item sales.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking about, so this is, I don't know if we want to do this, but I think I'm going to. Because I just signed up for, can they see me?
Yes.
I just signed up for Squarespace, their premium service for e-commerce. So I'm thinking about getting 70 items from my flea market in the morning, or on Sundays. On Monday, I want to film all my videos in the morning, and in the afternoon I was thinking about doing live on YouTube, me listing the 70 items live onto my website, right? So that you guys could see that 70 photos is going to take me hopefully under an hour and a half. And then once I have the photos, go straight to my computer, list all 70 items. And I like to do 70 items on Monday in 3 hours or less. So essentially that's my full listings for the week. 70 items times $15 profit in 3 hours. And ideally, you guys could copy the same thing, but list it on eBay or Poshmark or Mercari. Same strategy. Doesn't matter what you're selling. And the thing that I want people to think about is, it's expensive for me to talk about my store. It's cheaper to list it on eBay than it is for me to talk about it. So at this stage of my eBay or my YouTube career, I can charge minimum $500 for a post. I can say, hey guys, go to Uline and buy your boxes. They come the next day. Unfortunately, Uline doesn't pay me anything, but that's worth $500 because 10,000 people will watch this video and they'll think, oh, holy crap, I've never heard of Uline before. They go to it and then they buy it. That's worth $500 X to an advertiser. So Is it worth $500 for me to talk about my own store? Not really. I'd rather list my 70 items on eBay and pay $7. Something like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a lot cheaper to pay 25 cents a listing than hundreds of dollars to talk about it on my YouTube channel. I would plug something different. So it's interesting though, because hopefully people that are listening right now are thinking, wow, okay, there's different ways of doing this. I could pay Kim Kardashian $1 million to post it on Instagram, or I could list it on eBay for free with my store subscription and see if it sells. I could post it on Facebook Marketplace for free, Craigslist for free. I could call my friends and see if they want it. I could have a party at my house. Okay, so they call them Tupperware parties where you invite people over and sell them things. What is it called if it's just your regular stuff? Like, I need some extra cash, come over, make a price. Anything in my house is available for sale. Has anybody done that? I could do that here. Oh, garage sale, that's true.
Grand Sax says, is it good to put in free shipping on all your items? Will it sell fast?
Free shipping is going to rank higher than charging for shipping. And this morning I was reviewing a store that really struggled because...
Hold on, I'm going to lower the volume a little.
Okay. This morning I was reviewing a store that had some problems because of the shipping was way too high. So it was like $25 to ship a jacket.
Let's do that.
That's way too expensive. Maybe I can talk softer. But yeah, you don't want to charge too much for shipping. So you want to be as close to free as you can. I recommend charging for shipping. I mean, it sounds so crazy, right? Free shipping ranks higher than charging for shipping, but I recommend charging for shipping because I feel like as long as you charge a reasonable amount, your customers will be reasonable.
Josh says, Chris, thoughts on so many resellers leaving the platform?
Yeah, I mean, it's challenging right now, but I was just doing the homework. There are more resellers than ever. So I think that if you're not doing it right, you would be leaving the platform. I'll never stop reselling unless I can't. Like for me, it makes sense to be able to double your money under a year. Like it doesn't really make sense for me to invest in the stock market. Because like, if you're a rock star, you make 10% a year on your money. And I'd rather invest 100 grand and make 100 grand doubling it over the course of a year. You can't do that in the stock market. So a lot of resellers are leaving the platform because they're doing other things. I just saw Rockstar Flipper, I think, is selling his inventory. So he's another big YouTuber that does reselling, and he's leaving the game too. I would be surprised if he doesn't stay in reselling though. I don't know if you guys in the chat know if Casey is going to stay in reselling. It would be surprising to me if he leaves the industry completely because he's been doing it for so long.
Thank you for the super chat, Eric.
Thanks, Eric.
Eric says, salutations, Chris, new subscriber from Oregon.
Love it.
Your work ethic and overall attitude towards people who might want to get into reselling. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, I am trying to leave the world a better place than when I entered. So like, go to somebody's house, clean their bathroom for them when you use it. Just try to leave things nicer than when you came. I don't know. I wish everybody would do that. Can somebody Google for me how much it costs to clean up America's highways? I'm really curious. Like, all the people I see in California throwing stuff out their window, like, what is the cost of that to clean up a freeway? It's got to be millions of dollars. I don't know what it costs, but like, I don't do that. When I go somewhere and I have garbage, I put it in my pocket. I pick up another thing. Some people think it's weird, but like, I do that because I wish everybody else did that. I think we would not have any garbage if everyone did that. Like, you go out, pick up 4 pieces of garbage while you're outside. I feel like there would be no garbage left.
Clip PC says, what is your plan when back on eBay? Listing strategy / goal, etc.?
So I think it's going to be 30 a day. I'm sorry, let me back up. Not 30 a day. 70 in one day.
As in your listing?
Yeah. My eBay, if I get back on the eBay, I'll be listing 70 items in 3 hours, right? Because Christine, you guys watch that video, how to actually make money on eBay? Christine follows me around while I do it. It takes 41 minutes for me to do 10 listings, shipping, customer service. I would do that 3 times in one day and not do anything the other 6 days except for shipping and customer service. I would be like half an hour Tuesday through Sunday, 3 hours on Monday.
And then schedule the listings.
I would schedule the listings ahead. I wouldn't use draft. I would just schedule ahead and pay the 10 cents. I would only pick 70 good items. I would not do this. This is so much more stressful and unnecessary. I honestly don't know why I'm doing this. This is like so much, so much. Literally costs millions of dollars to operate this. I don't know. It's a lot. Christine's watched the full progression.
Yeah. For the very, like,
Everything from through all
eBay.
this different stuff. So it's been intense.
Yeah. Eric says scheduling is free now.
Yeah, scheduling is free now. Yep, thank you.
Let's see. Aquata says, what is a show? I believe he's talking about the auction.
Oh yeah, so like this is a show back here where
Yeah.
we're presenting items to customers. There's about 80 people live watching. It's just like auctioning in person. And I've done a couple of live auctions and they do even better in person because it's a lot more fun. We went to Sandoz Sports Cars. Is that what Pat's store was called? Do you remember?
Oh, yeah, Sandoz.
He lived in Pleasanton. It was called Sandoz Sports Cards. We went to a garage sale where we posted everything, and we did a live auction in person. Every single item that he bought in 3 years sold in an hour. And we went home. Said, do not buy a lot if you don't put it in your car and take it home immediately. So what happened was, we brought Dunkin' Donuts. We brought donuts. People ate the donuts. We did the auction. All 50 lots sold in 1 minute. Like people were like, and they bought more than one lot. They got their lot. Everybody put the stuff into their car, and we were done by like 11. It was like a 1 hour. His wife was like, "Oh my God, that was 3 years of buying stuff, gone in 1 hour." So a lot of options were even better in person. That really did blow my mind because the lady that got the vintage Playboy collection, which some those
Those were heavy.
in the past. So Laserdisc, there's all these GI Joe toys, parts, GI Joes, toys, games, World War II, all of that at garage sales over the last 3 years. Listed none of it. Just stuck in his sports card niche. Listed 10 to 30 cards a day. Didn't do any of the other stuff. It just sat in his garage. So they have since moved to Florida. So how fast they sold.
Oh, yeah, we're lagging a little bit.
Okay.
Sorry the audio went out. Tech was calling you.
Oh.
So,
Right. We gotta go. Bye guys.
oh, okay.
We'll call it.
Okay.